Hello everyone, welcome to the 60 Literary and Jury Charge. We're going to start off with a narrative answer. Ready? I don't remember what was said exactly, but the substance of it was that if we had any problems with the home, we shouldn't worry that Palm Estates would take care of it. I don't know why the tennis courts stick in my mind, but she did say that the tennis courts were going to be put in there within a short time. She said that was to be part of the tract. However, I can't remember anything else regarding the purchase of that particular home. Almost everything was about the general tract facilities. I think at that time the swimming pools and the jacuzzi were already in. The tennis courts were not. I don't know whether she said how many more phases there were going to be. Maybe the tract map showed that, but I don't remember whether or not any more phases were shown. All right. Moving right into some jury charge. The subject is accident. Here we go. Ready? Ladies and gentlemen, if, on the other hand, you believe that it was an independent person, a person who was not under the control of the defendant corporation, not an agent, servant, or employee, then it would be your duty to find that the defendant was not liable because the defendant corporation has the right to assume that a stranger going down into the cellar to open the doors would act with due regard to the rights of third persons and would not open a door negligently from the inside, but would merely loosen the bolts and then come through the store out onto the pavement. So the issue for you to determine is, do you believe that it was an agent, servant, or employee of the defendant, corporation, who opened that door? Or do you believe that it was an independent contractor, a stranger, as Mr. Bradford intimated that he believed it was? You should also consider whether the plaintiff herself acted as a reasonably careful person would act under the circumstances. She had a right, perfect right, to walk on any part of that pavement. The iron doors were flush with the pavement when they were closed, and she had a perfect right to walk across those iron doors when they were level with the pavement, as she had the right to assume that nobody would suddenly and without warning open any part of that door to create an obstruction immediately in her path. If you are satisfied that the plaintiffs have established their case by a fair preponderance of the evidence and have met the burden of proof, which is upon them that an agent, servant, or employee of the defendant corporation opened that door negligently, and if you feel that the plaintiff herself did not contribute by her own negligence to cause the accident, it would be your duty to find a verdict for the plaintiff against the defendant corporation. If, on the other hand, you believe that it was not an agent, servant, or employee of the defendant corporation that caused the accident, that some third person over whom the defendant corporation had no control or no right to control caused the accident, then your verdict should be for the defendant corporation. If you find for the plaintiff, you should consider the measure of damages. Use your common sense and sound judgment. We have had no medical testimony of an affirmative character. the plaintiff tells us that she was taken to the hospital by somebody whose name she does not know, but the hospital records are not produced. She says she was in the hospital for 6 hours, that she was instructed to ice her face with a compact because she said her left cheek was swollen under her eye. She said that her left side, the left side of her abdomen, pained her. She said they x-rayed it. Well, the hospital records have not been produced. She said she had a doctor, her own doctor, who she went to see, and on his instructions she stayed in bed for several days. That doctor isn't produced because we are told he is in the military service. She said she went to another doctor. She had another doctor see her at once. He is not here because he is also in the service. She tells us we have no testimony other than her own to the fact that she suffered pain in her left side and still suffers pain in bad weather since the accident, although she was in good condition prior to the accident. She tells us that she had a bill of $208 from one doctor, and she paid $112 to the other doctor. Then she tells us she also was instructed to have some x-rays taken, and we had the x-ray expert testify. He tells us that while he took some x-rays back in December of last year and again in October of this year, all of those x-rays were negative, that there were no fractures, nothing pathological, nothing abnormal shown which would cause any pain. Nevertheless, the lady told him that there was tenderness in the left side of her abdomen. As I said, use your common sense and sound judgment. You should also bear in mind that the X-ray doctor said his bills for these X-rays were $530 and $620 respectively, a total of $1,150. If you consider that those X-ray pictures were reasonably necessary and that those charges are the fair and reasonable charges, you would have a right to compensate the plaintiff, Ella Sweeney, to the extent of the $1,150 and also to the extent of the other medical bills, the $208 and the $112 to which there was testimony. If you believe these bills were fair and reasonable. All right. I've got a technical answer for you. Okay, there we go. I'm going to give you a small word list. You're going to hear clean outs, drain pipes, installed, horizontal, plug, points, property, waste, soil pipes, drainage, surface, waste, drop, properly. All right, here is your paragraph. Then we were to install clean outs at the ends of all drain pipes. Clean outs also had to be installed at any points where the pipes made turns. Clean outs are needed at the foot of each rise when there is a horizontal run of 50 feet, then it is also necessary to install one. If the plug to a cleanout is going to be flush with the floor or other surface, the plugs must be countersunk. It is necessary to have the same type of cleanouts for any waste or soil pipes. The cleanout in question had been countersunk and was at the end of a 40-foot horizontal run. In fact, there was a proper drop in the 40-foot run. In my opinion, the clean out had been installed properly. The drop should have been enough to take care of the drainage without any problem. All right, and that concludes our 60 literary and jury charge. Have a great day.